The next question I have is, what made you become a surrogate? Surrogacy videos started coming up, and I just found myself looking into a lot of surrogacy videos. I loved it. I loved the idea. In the back of my mind, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, you just went through a C-section and it was the worst pain of your life, but you would do it again. My pregnancy was like quick. I feel like it was so fast and it was so easy, and I worked throughout my whole pregnancy and I felt great. I was glowing, my hair was growing, my nails were growing, my skin was clear. Like, I felt like a goddess.
Hello, my name is Karina, and I am a surrogate. I am almost at my embryo transfer. I'm based here in Miami, Florida, born and raised. I was born in Hialeah, raised in Cutler Bay. I'm Colombian Dominican background. Y hablo inglés y español. Espero que les guste este video. I hope you guys like this video. This is a Q&A for my first video. I hope to inspire others to just think about, you know, doing surrogacy if it's something that you are interested in. Don't be so scared to just jump into something that you are not familiar with. You don't have anybody around you who has done. I am the first in my group and my family to do surrogacy, and from Dominican background, my grandma all of a sudden, like right away, did not agree with the surrogacy. She's like, pa eso regala tu hija, tengo un hijo y regálala si quiere, no sé qué cosa. But then, you know, after a while, after like me just being there quiet and kind of awkward, she was like, well, if it's something that you really want to do, you know, the times are different, los tiempos están diferente, and I feel like this is a wonderful time to start surrogacy. It's completely different than, I guess, back then. Like, I saw a show that, like, surrogacy used to be like, they used to kidnap these women and, you know, pay them a lot of money, or they didn't pay them at all. And it was just kind of like a scary process when back then they used to like literally like steal your you know, your ovaries or your uterus to have a baby from a wealthy family that couldn't have a baby. I feel like oops, the light cut off. I feel like the times are different now, and it's very comfortable. There's support groups now. I'm doing surrogacy for Fairfax Surrogacy, and it was not my first surrogacy company. I did apply with another one. There are so many. There's a lot of surrogacy companies, but I do recommend you do your research and really, you know, research which one's the best for you. Fairfax is very open to what you want, you know. Some surrogacy companies, they're like, no, it's what we want and it's your body. I feel like you should be able to speak up about what you want. If you want a home birth, if it's something that you've done in the past and you want to do it with the surrogate baby, they will allow you to do it as long as the doctor, you know, clears for it. So I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's gonna be a couple of questions that I got online. I don't have an Instagram platform where I can ask you guys to ask me questions, so I just really wrote down a couple questions that I feel like are very simple and will get me started on this first YouTube video. So let's get started with the questions. Okay, so the first question I have here is, how was the screening process? So the screening process is really the first thing you do before you jump into the surrogacy. Obviously, you have to qualify. Some of the qualifications are at least one healthy birth. You have to have at least one baby, a healthy pregnancy, no complications. You can't have a lot of kids, a lot of C-sections. I'm 23, so I mean, I have one baby and she was not expected. It wasn't planned at all, but I'm so happy she happened. It opened a lot of doors, and it made me research surrogacy after I gave birth. This light keeps cutting off. Cut. So after my pregnancy, I had a healthy pregnancy, and I watched videos on YouTube throughout my whole pregnancy. And after I gave birth, just the videos, you know, they didn't feel the same. You know, after you give birth, it's like you're exhausted, you don't want to film everything. So all the videos after birth is like very short, very, you know, to the point, because being a new mother is very exhausting. So I mean, Dan and Sam, I found their YouTube channel and I started watching all of their videos, and I was talking to my friends and I'm like, oh my god, I want to be a surrogate. Like, I think I want to be a surrogate. And some of them were like, oh, you're crazy. She's like, you would actually go through that again, because I had a C-section, and I took longer to recover than a natural birth. So just back to the question. The screening process wasn't that long. Once you qualify, you have to give your medical records, you know, allow access to all of these things that the surrogacy company will need for you to start the process. You have an evaluation to make sure you're not crazy, you know, porque no puedes estar loca if you're gonna go into surrogacy. Like, you have to, it doesn't mean that, you know, you can't have postpartum depression, because everybody, you know, has their little postpartum, and it's completely normal, because after a kid, like, your body's completely different, your hormones, everything's like all over the place. And I remember crying some days after the baby was born, just because I was just like, she's out, like, I don't know how to feel. Like, she's out, she's healthy. I wasn't able to see a doctor for the first few months because I didn't have insurance. So it was just very emotional to know how healthy the baby was. And I was just like, never felt, you know, this emotion of having a new baby in my life. So it was very emotional for me. And after you pass the psych evaluation, I mean, everything just, it's step by step. It's basically climbing a ladder, you know. There's steps to it. You can't have too many things on your record. Well, if anything, like, nothing on your record. You have to be clean, because, you know, you're having a baby for basically people you don't know, you know. Eventually you'll gain a relationship with these, you know, individuals, but at first you don't want somebody who has a record to have your baby. It's something very intimate, very important to start with. So the next question I have is, what can disqualify you from surrogacy? So I would say what would disqualify you from surrogacy is you didn't have a healthy pregnancy. My sister, she had a high, like, her iron was off. She had high risk pregnancy, so she definitely would not be qualified for surrogacy. And it's just, you know, if you didn't feel good with your pregnancy, if you're one of those that's like, I hated being pregnant, you know, don't even think about it. And if you're just thinking about it to, like, get money, don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that is not all because of the money. It's the fact that you had a kid and you want to share that with another family who cannot have a kid. Like me, it made me emotional to feel like, what if, because I took birth control for a long time, I think it was 8+ years that I took birth control, and that thought came into my head that maybe I wasn't able to have a kid in the future. Let me stop taking my birth control now, so that maybe in the future I can have a family. You know, I was already 5 years into a relationship with my partner, and we weren't thinking about kids, but low-key we was like, is it time? Like, we're young, but I think we're prepared, you know? And it happened way sooner than later. And there's just some people who can't have kids, and you want to help them, and this is definitely a way to help them. And if you have that in your heart that you want to help a family, do something positive for this, the world, I guess, for the society, for you, just for you, like it makes you feel good to know that you're bringing a life into somebody's life that can't have, and it must be very frustrating because my pregnancy was like quick. I feel like it was so fast and it was so easy, and I worked throughout my whole pregnancy and I felt great. I was glowing, my hair was growing, my nails were glowing, my skin was clear, like I felt like a goddess. So I mean, just if you don't feel like you had a good pregnancy and your health isn't that good, then that would really disqualify you, on top of being like a criminal. Like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you're a felon. Don't even apply. Just kidding. But yeah. Okay, moving on to the next question I have. How was your IP match? So after all of the screening process, you start matching with your IPs, and an IP would be an intended parent. Usually it would be 2 females or 2 males, or a male and a female, however you desire. Like there's some people who are like, yeah, like I had 2 dads and I would love to give birth, to have a child for 2 dads. That's their wish. Me specifically, I have nothing against 2 dads or 2 moms being the parents, but I just, in my shoes, I was like, if I could have a child with my partner, I don't know how I would feel. So I specifically was looking for a mom and a dad who weren't able to have kids, that were struggling with pregnancy. Not like somebody who's like, I don't want to mess up my body, like, I want my 6-pack, I don't want to have kids. Nothing against that, but still, I was just specifically looking for a couple who were not able to have kids, who were having fertility issues, who have tried in the past and just can't. My IPs, let me not get emotional, but my IPs, they are not able to have kids because the mother has health issues, and she has tried in the past to have a child, and it was either her or the child. So you have to pick in between, like me or having a family. And that just touched my heart, because it's like, you really want a child, but you don't want to choose in between my wife or my kid, like that's a very, very sad situation. So it's just my experience. I chose to have, and that's the best part about Fairfax Surrogacy, you can choose if you want a mom and a dad, or 2 dads or 2 moms. Sometimes it's not even available, but I was blessed enough to have that option and that couple there that just seemed so like in line with what I was picturing myself having a child for. And it was, I mean, everybody's story is different, but your IPs usually is what you were really looking for, what you had in mind. And it's just, everybody's different, and this couple, I feel like, was meant to be my couple. Like, I couldn't imagine them having another surrogate, and they can't imagine having another surrogate. And it's the beginning, because I'm about to have the embryo transfer, and we still haven't formed like a very close connection, but we do talk a lot, and I'm always updating them. And at first, the connection is once a week, and then it turns into 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and they turn out to be another part of your family. That is also another beautiful experience. You just have like this extended family, and you can choose to be a part of it for the rest of your life. Like, you can choose not to. It's very mutual. It's what you want, what they want. So I really like that. The next question I have is, what made you become a surrogate? So I guess I kind of answered this question, but yeah, I mean, after I had my baby Allison, she's gonna be 2 now. I was just looking at other videos to watch while I'm pumping, while I'm at home recovering and stuff, and surrogacy videos started coming up, and I just found myself looking into a lot of surrogacy videos. I loved it. I loved the idea. In the back of my mind, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, you just went through a C-section and it was the worst pain of your life, but you would do it again. And yeah, I'll definitely do it again, because it's giving a life to somebody who cannot, you know, have one themselves. And I feel like if I were in their shoes, like, I would do anything to have that family, you know? And this is just something that crossed my path, and I feel like sometimes what's meant to be is meant to be. Like, God will put hints into your life, like throw these videos, Dan and Sam, and it's just on Instagram, and then it starts popping up on Facebook, on, you know how it is, like when you see those shoes and then they start popping up everywhere. It's kind of that sort of thing. And I was just like, I found myself, you know, just looking more into it, and I loved it. I started signing up. Initially I was gonna go with another surrogacy company, and that didn't work out, and I'm very glad it didn't work out, because now I'm like with the best. Like, Fairfax, I feel like, has been the best company from start, the application process, till now the embryo transfer. This is my second time attempting the embryo transfer, because at first I was ovulating through my injections, and they had to reset the process, and it was a little, you know, it was a little disappointing, because sometimes you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? Because you get pregnant natural, and it's like, it's a breeze. But when you're getting pregnant through IVF, it is a little complicated, and you have to go into it being strong. You have to know that you're strong. And that's another thing that I recommend you really think about, how strong you are and how willing you are to have a baby for somebody else, you know? It's not just, oh, I'm gonna make money off this, like, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, you're gonna go through things to have a baby for somebody, and that's like the ultimate sacrifice, I feel like. And I was just mentally prepared for it. So if you're mentally strong and you know this is something that you feel strong and like highly that you want to do, then I definitely recommend you taking that next step. I'm a little sick right now, the baby too, she's sleeping. Shh. So the next question I have is, how were your pregnancy in the past? So my pregnancy in the past, it was great. I'm not gonna lie, I vomited a couple times, but I was never dizzy, nauseous. I didn't have too much vomit. You know, it was normal. It's just something that is very natural, very beautiful when you start experiencing. It wouldn't be a good pregnancy. Like, it wouldn't be a pregnancy if you didn't have symptoms. Like, it's like, oh, this is real because my body's feeling it, the throwing up, all of that. Like, me and my partner were like, oh my god, this is so real. Like, I'm vomiting, I'm, you know, growing. It was just very, very cool. I don't know, it was like such an experience. But I just had a very normal pregnancy, I feel like. And towards the end, I felt like I could do anything. Like, yeah, let's move the whole room around. Like, I'll lift anything, and my man would be like, no, stop lifting that. Like, you're pregnant. Like, you keep forgetting you're pregnant. But I felt like I could do anything. Like, I was superwoman. I felt great. Like, my maternity pictures, like, girl, I was glowing. But it was great, honestly. So if you've had a great pregnancy, I definitely recommend it, because, you know, if you didn't, then it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be a little bit of a burden. It's like, ugh, now I gotta go through this for somebody else. Like, it's not even mine. Like, what am I doing? You know, you're gonna question yourself. So definitely, if you had a great pregnancy, then I recommend it. For the next question, my best friend Chanel put this one on my list, and it was, are you nervous? I'm literally 2 days away from my embryo transfer, and she's like, are you nervous? Like, that's a question, you know. I'm not too sure. Sometimes I feel nervous, but I'm not a nervous type of person. I feel like I mentally prepare myself so that I won't be that nervous, so that you know, I'm just going into it knowing that it's all gonna be okay. Just stay positive. Everything's gonna be fine. You don't have to be nervous. This is a beautiful thing that's happening, and you know, you're making a big difference in somebody's life. So all of these things that you're going through, the injections, the hormones, all of that is totally normal. So I feel like half of the time I'm not really nervous. No, I don't think I'm nervous, you know. I'm just chilling, I'm vibing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to the next question. I'm sorry, this light, like, I haven't turned on this ring in a long time, so the light is just cutting on and off. Like, sorry. Back. Y'all see the skin though? Oh my gosh. My skin is glowing, y'all. These injections got my face like very clear. I used to have bad acne, really bad acne, and now I feel like I could pull anybody right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so for the next question I have, is this something that you discussed with your partner in the past? So, this question is a little complicated because my partner is Cuban. He doesn't understand what surrogacy is like that, but he's always on board for all my decisions. So I feel like I discussed it with him and he was just like, okay. Like, he's very chill. He's very like, it's up to you, you know, it's your body. And I love that about him. He's just like, it's your body. You do what you want to do. If that's what you feel like you want to do, like, go ahead. I'm going to be here to support you, you know? So, I mean, I discussed it with him, but it's like, it's something that he didn't understand too much at first until we started, like, doing these meetings that the surrogacy company would call, and they would have to talk to both of us because he's my support partner. You need a support partner. Usually it's your partner, you know. And they were asking him questions, and he was just like, I don't know, like, if it's something that she wants to do, then, you know, that's her body. She can do it. You know, I'm on board. Like, he's just like very, very chill about it. He just, you know, I don't know. I'm just glad he's not one of those guys that's like, no, don't even think about it. And then, like, you have to, like, it's something that you feel strong about and you have to ignore because your partner isn't supportive, you know? I'm just glad mine is. So the next question I have is, are you afraid how others may view you? Okay, so this is a great question because, like I said, my grandma wasn't really on board when I told her about it. And I'm the type that's like, I'm gonna get it over now so that when this baby's in me, like, I won't have to deal with this, because she's Dominican and she can be very strict, very like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you crazy? Like, no, don't even think about it. Like, give away your child if that's what you want to do. Like, just very dramatic. Oh my God, this telenovelas, freaking grandmas, just, you can picture it. Okay. But not really. I feel like I'm not afraid, and it's something that I am proud to talk about. I've already told everybody because not everybody, but just the people that I'm close with in places that I usually hang out with, which is on Mondays. I go roller skating here in Miami at Miami Roller Rink, and I'm a great roller skater, and I'm gonna miss skating for a while, but I feel like it's time for a break because I've been skating a lot. And I told a couple people, and they're very supportive. Like, surprisingly, they were very supportive. And so far I haven't got that many negative comments, just my grandma. But I'm not afraid of how others view me, because no matter what anybody says, it's what I want to do. And if I feel like it's something that I want to do, I'm going to do it. I'm the type of person that, like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it without hesitation, without thinking too much. Because I feel like when you start thinking too much, like, it turns into this whole thing that it shouldn't, you know. So I just try not to think about it too much. I'm glad I've gotten more. You usually get more positive than negative comments about it. So I'm not too afraid of what others think. And if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, next question. We're almost done, guys. So my next question is, how do you feel about carrying multiples? So, fun fact, my mom is a twin. I'm a twin. So my body, I feel like, would be prepared for twins because I just have a twin gene in my family. But my IPs are hoping to have just one baby. But I did tell them, like, I'm a twin, my mom's a twin, like, start accepting that fact that it might be twins, you know. And I completely am on board if it is twins. I know twin pregnancies can be a little bit more risky, but I am going into the embryo transfer accepting the fact that it can be twins, something can happen to the twins, and just be positive about a twin pregnancy, because sometimes it's more complicated, but having two, sometimes it might be more annoying at first. I know it might be like, oh, these, like, especially inside you, one's probably sleeping, the other one's kicking, like two people kicking at the same time, like, girl, what's going on? Like, get a hold of yourself. But I know two babies would be easier to have with one surrogate than to have separate, you know, surrogate, you know, and yeah, just sacrifice at first because it's gonna be very hard. Twins are very hard, but I feel like my IPs are strong and they deserve two babies, you know? And then, like, just, that's it. Like, two babies is perfect. So, I mean, I'm going into it hoping that maybe it is twins. Don't tell my IPs that, but maybe, because I'm a twin, my mom's a twin. Like, I would love to experience that, having twins, you know, experience. So, I'm just, we're gonna see. It's the beginning. So, I'm happy about anything, you know. I accept what's coming and I'm positive about what's coming, and I hope for the best throughout the whole journey. Okay, so my last question is, okay, what are you hoping to gain from this experience? And I feel like this is a great question to end with, because you never know, you know. I feel like I'm the type of person who doesn't like picking into the future too much, because I'm like, oh yeah, I hope to you know, do this, to do that, and then it goes completely opposite from what you hoped was gonna happen. But I really hope to bring joy into my IP's life. I really hope to, don't let's not do that. I really hope to bring this family that these IPs have been, you know, just yearning to have for so long. They've been through a surrogacy experience in the past that wasn't the best, and they experienced, you know, just not the right surrogacy company and not what they needed to experience after going through, you know, the hard times of not being able to have a child. And I just hope to bring that joy into their lives and bring awareness, positivity upon surrogacy, because it is something beautiful and it's something that I feel like anyone deserves to have if you can't have a kid. I feel like, you know, it's hard to have a child sometimes, and some people don't put themselves in that situation. They speak negatively on surrogacy because they don't put themselves in other people's shoes, but it's something hard, it's something very emotional to not be able to have a child and to feel broken and to feel like, you know, I can't have a family. And now it's something possible. It's something that you can look into to have a family. So I just hope to bring joy and this beautiful baby or babies into my IP's life, because I mean, there's not a job that I can do that would make me feel more proud of myself. I feel like I'm strong, I'm young, I'm healthy, and if I can do this, I will do it as many times as possible. I'm hoping to do it this one time, but I know when I give birth and I see those faces, the cries and the emotion on my IP's faces, I'm gonna be like, I want to experience this again, you know? It's not something that sometimes you do once and it's like, oh hell no, I'm not gonna do that again. Like Joyce, my case manager, she's done it quite a few times, and she says it's her last time, and it probably is. But it's something that you don't expect, you know, to want to do again, and you end up doing it again, and you end up building a life around surrogacy. So I'm just hoping to, I mean, see what the future holds, you know? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Karina. Looking forward to making more videos for you guys. I'm gonna vlog my whole embryo transfer process so you guys see how it is. You know, it's gonna be a fun little journey, and I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. And if you like this video, just share it. And I hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.